We live, we live, we live. Yo, tap in, ask me anything. Michael, what's up, man? Not gonna lie, I was just out, had a few drinks, so as soon as I got home, I said, let's just do an AMA. Ask me anything, just chill type, super chill one. Michael, what's up, man? How you doing tonight? I don't know. We could do code forces too, but usually the thing is, when I'm doing all my coding interviews and stuff, or I'm doing questions, it's hard for me to answer questions, so I never answer them deeply or truly. So so now I decide to just go live and pretty much just answer questions straight up. Yo V, I gotta wake up for work in 7 hours. Yo, I don't got work tomorrow, so that's why I'm chilling. Where do you work at? Where are you based? Grab some. Grab some of my wine. What's C1? We're just gonna have like some white wine night. Oh, you're in Canada? Yo, Lev, man, long time. You ever done coffee chats before? In person? Yeah, I used to do them. Oh, you work at Capital One, I see. Yo, they have that in Canada? I didn't even know. Have I ever done coffee chats? Yo, Lev, how's school? My rating's about to tank. I've done coffee chats. What do you mean by coffee chats, though? I got one coming up, HK. What's HK? Like Hong Kong? Graduating this summer. Good luck, man. How's applying and stuff? How's the job market looking? You cooked or what? Oh, you have your first coffee chat. Who you have a coffee chat with? Man, you just gotta keep it casual, get to know the person. Try not to get anything out of it too much. I think with coffee chats, you're just trying to establish a relationship, and then the relationship just grows from there. But you don't want to go into a coffee chat just asking for a lot of things or asking for a job. I mean, you could ask for a referral and stuff if you want to get straight to the point, but you want to build relationships at the end of the day. Who's a sweet with the U.S. senator? What does that even mean? Can't really tell you. I've been lightly applying, but not really much luck yet. Yeah, can't. How's your resume looking, Lev? Michael, where are you based? Pretty sure. Yeah, I'm down. Send it over. Send it over. Jersey. Jersey. Send it to. Yeah, send it to me on Discord. I'll take a look later. Josh, what's up, man? How's it going? Y'all got any career questions or anything you want to chat about? Yeah, I'll take a look on the side and give you my feedback. I'm about to grind this year. What's everyone's New Year's resolutions? What's how's everyone feeling for the year? Is it gonna be a good year? Are you gonna grind? Are you gonna chill? Are you gonna focus on family? Are you gonna focus on work? What's everyone's plans? AI getting too smart too quick? Yo, man. Honestly, yo, how I feel about AI, preparing for new grad roles this summer. I was scared of AI in 2024 and 2025, and now I'm seeing it start to plateau because a lot of people back in 2025 were saying, oh, by the end of 2025, software engineers are going to be replaced. At the end of 2025, Claude Code or all these AIs is going to replace everybody's like junior level software engineers. But I just don't see that. I just see software junior levels still getting hired, junior levels still being able to make an impact. I think at the end of the day, you still need humans to do things. And having a human who's good at AI or having the human leverage the AI and try using the AI in different ways is way better than just not having a human at all and just letting the AI run for itself. Predictions on the CS job market for 2026. I think the CS job market, I don't know if it's going to increase or decrease. I don't think it's really going to decrease, but I can't really, if I had a crystal ball, I would tell you, but I can't really see it increasing. I think it's going to maintain the same way as 2025, but just a little bit better. But it's not like it's going to be like before 2021, it was like the employees market. Employees had all the leverage, but now it swung over to the employer side, and now the employers have all the leverage. And I think employers will still have more of the leverage, but I think if you're a top talent, you're gonna get a good job. You're gonna get a lot of money for what you do. So I think the main focus is how can you position yourself to be the top talent. Yo, AI dev appreciates you. What do you mean relatable? Okay, I'm getting some good questions. Yo, James, how to get a job on US or SF as from Asia? Man, it's really hard to get a job in the US if you're coming on a visa. So if it's already hard for people to get a job, it's gonna be even harder coming from Asia. So you really have to grind. You really need to set yourself apart and make it worth that H1B sponsorship. Because if you're coming from Asia, H1B is one of your only options. But I would explore a ton of different options: H1B, E1s, O1s, EB1s, etc. There's a few options, and just okay, Kevin. I'll give you advice on how to find. Just look up what year are you in. I'm from Canada, so I use a TN visa. I'm on a TN visa. TN visa is the easiest visa you can get. Yo, Alpha, what up, man? Yeah, but I'm just doing a chill stream where I just I'm just answering questions because usually when I'm doing my streams, I literally can't focus. I'm trying to focus so hard on the question. So when people are giving me or asking me stuff, I give the worst response ever. So I think I'm gonna take out a like an hour or two each week to just actually answer questions legit. Which DSA topics you face the most in interviews? The DSA topics I face the most in interviews is probably recursion and BFS DFS. Graph questions, graph traversals are classic questions. You'll see that at least 70% of the time. And then other than that, you'll just see probably you don't see greedy much. You'll probably honestly it's a lot of graph traversals, and then a lot of companies have been switching to more practical stuff, but hash maps and graph traversals So if you master arrays and you master like graphs, DFS, BFS, recursion, backtracking, simple stuff like those simple ones, you'll probably be able to pass a lot of interviews. Don't really need to focus on the dynamic programming unless you're interviewing for a top tier company. But if you solve, I would say if you solve around 300 questions, you should be good for most interviews. Alpha, what are you up to right now? You grinding more? You did some VODs recording interview IO videos. What's a VOD in a vid? What's a VOD, like a vid? Nah, Alpha, what I was pretty much doing was I was doing pretty much what I was doing was like I was just during my breaks, I would just play interviewing IO and then just go for a walk. I didn't really post dedicated videos, but you could probably post dedicated videos. I don't know if they take it down, they take it down. But how's working at Meta? Is it intense as everyone says? I would say for a big company, it feels for a big company it feels just as intense as a lot of as even the small companies. At Meta, I'm pumping out more code than I ever did at working at Rippling. But the most code I've ever pumped out in my life was working at Nova Credit, which was the early stage company that I worked at for the first 3 years. That's when I pumped out the most code in my life. But right now is really I'm getting really close, and probably by the time I ramp up, I'll be pumping out more code than I ever did in any of my company. Bro, pumping out code, pumping out iron, pumping out LeetCode specifically and videos. Alpha man, are you in the gym too? Legendary, dude. You got the same chair as me. This is like a basic ass IKEA chair. It's so funny on the stream when everyone's concerned with my work schedule. They're like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you working so much? Da, da, da. But Loki, I feel like going to the gym helps me a lot with being able to work long hours. So, for example, after grinding out LeetCode for 6 hours, 7 hours, and then I'll be stressed. If I can't solve a question, I'll feel burnt out. The moment I go to the gym and after the gym, everything's all good. And then I'm able to grow another like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. Even after work. Suppose like imagine that I went to work and then right after I just went home and started doing LeetCode right away. Bro, I never will have that switch. You need to find activities in your life that are give you energy. I mean, there's different things that give you energy. Maybe hanging out with friends, going to the gym. Certain things like that are energy boosters. And then that's how you gain energy throughout the day. Figure out the things that give you energy, not drain your energy. Even when you're at work, find things that give you energy. If there's meetings that give you energy, make sure that you prioritize those and don't skip them. If there's meetings that drain your energy, cancel those right away, you know what I mean? Yeah, you need to have energy. Okay, Raul, before I start LeetCode, did you get trained anywhere for DSA topics? Okay, So before I started lead coding, I already I was pretty much in my senior year in university, or my third, or close. I was close to graduating, and I already took my algorithms class. So I already had experience with, I would say, first principles thinking when it comes to algorithms. I knew how to prove algorithms, but I think the main thing that I couldn't do was implement them. That was my main issue. I mean, we could look at my submission history. Your LeetCode website is way faster. So you could see one of the first questions I ever tried. When I started LeetCoding, I straight up started going to hards and mediums. This is my first LeetCode submission. I was pretty much just doing mostly mediums and hards. But that's the only reason, was because I had a computer science background. I pretty much only started doing this in my final year, and I did an algorithms course. So I kind of knew how to design an algorithm and reason about its correctness. But when it came to just implementing it, I had a lot of trouble. So I think that was my starting point. It's probably a different starting point than a lot of people, especially if you're starting as in your first year or second year. But it gets easier over time. So if you have to refer to the editorial, that's 100% fine. Just I think the main thing is when you open a question, like if when you open a question, don't look at the editorial for the first 30 minutes. Actually try to solve the problem. Like put yourself in the phase, or put yourself in the mindset of actually struggling through a problem, because it's not really, I would say it's not really, like, the problem with editorial is it's just short circuiting your learning process. I think getting to the solution is not really the problem. The problem is, can you sit down and focus and try to solve a problem for 30 minutes at a time? How long does someone have to stay at your first job, you think? Can I just start applying as soon as I start? I've been interning for 2 years already, and I really want to move to SF. So where are you based? Bro, that's fine. If you have to look at the editorial, you have to look at the editorial. But okay, what you should try is just try the zero track rating. So in zero track, they rate the questions starting at, I think, 800. So I think these ratings here are a better indicator, or are better than LeetCode ratings, because ratings is easy, medium, hard. So the lowest is 1,100 or 1,800, 1,084. So try to do questions between 1,000 and 1,200, and just focus on these questions. And then probably these questions you won't have to look at the editorial, hopefully not, but we'll see. And then, because the thing with the thing with LeetCode easies, mediums, and hards is that they're all over the place. You know what I mean? Some mediums are hard level actually, but some hards are easy level. Man, don't alpha. As a mod, that's disrespectful. No, I'm just kidding. Go watch Alpha. Don't watch editorial. Go watch Alpha. So what I was gonna say? Alpha literally covered every. Oh, I thought you said need code. You can advertise yourself. No, I'm just kidding. You could advertise need code. I'm not a hater. I'm just trolling. I'd rather advertise you than need code though. You low key give better solutions and better interviews. Okay, I'm gonna answer these questions one by one. So how long does someone have to stay at your first company? Can I just start applying as soon as you've interned? I would say if you, how are you interning there for 2 years? How you been an intern for 2 years? I would say for your first company, stay probably a minimum 2 years because switching before 2 years is so early. You could barely get interviews at intermediate roles, but once you cross 2 to 3 years, it just opens the door for interviews at a lot of the companies. So I would just say stay there for the first 2 to 3 years, and it takes a while before when you get into a company to figure out what's going on, build rapport with all of the other people you're working with, and then start working on high impact projects. I think the goal that you should have at your first company is build relationships with everyone and build a name for yourself so that you can start working on high value, high impact projects. And those are what's going to help you land the next big role. If you go to the next interviews and you don't have any big projects that you've worked on and you switch too fast, your options are going to be limited. And it's a red flag. Some people honestly really think would really don't appreciate when people job hop too much. I've already job hopped 3 years in the 3 times in the last 4 years, but I have my reasons that that I've explained in my interviews. Some of the LeetCode editorials are so fluff to me, so I try to be good at extrapolating ideas from skimming. Yeah, honestly, when I read editorials, I try the problem until I get stuck, and most of the time I get really stuck, or if most of the time if I get really stuck, the moment I start reading the editorial for like 1 or 2 minutes and I see the main intuition, I automatically can just figure it out and I don't really need to read the whole thing. Dude, I'm also having my system design and analysis of algorithms class this semester. We were given a few problems to practice for divide and conquer. You find it so hard to get the intuition. The thing that's with intuition is you can build intuition over time by just seeing more questions and doing more problems. The more you work at something, you're gonna build that intuition. You don't When I first started LeetCode, I don't think I had any intuition, but now I have better intuition. I could still keep improving that. Yo, what's up? What's up? Amor, what's up? Okay, someone's asking, what's happening in the US market with on SWE positions? Are layoffs happening in the future? I think some big techs are gonna do layoffs, but we can look at the layoffs FYI, and then we could see that layoffs are actually down from. This is a weird trend. I don't know how to make. Okay, so I've looked at this chart before. 2023 was just when the layoffs were the worst. It's been a lot better. So in 2022, this is when people are saying it's the golden year. Or I guess maybe they started doing layoffs. 165,000 tech employees laid off. That's actually insane. 2023, 264,000 tech employees laid off. 2024 it dropped again to below 2022, and then 2025 was even below 2022. So you can see it's trending downwards. It's trending downwards. The layoffs. You could see that it's trending downwards. So I think I think it's gonna continue trending downwards. I think tech is on a wave right now. AI usage is a lot. There's so much like AI has enabled so many new use cases that people are trying to get into. So, and they just want people who can write code, who can use AI to write code, and there's a lot of opportunity. Why are they firing people? I actually don't know. I actually don't know about that. Let me just reply. Just responding to someone. Yo, tens, what's up, man? Loki, I think. Okay, I know a few people who are really cracked. We'll just say the word cracked. We'll use the word term cracked. But the people, if you're a cracked engineer, you're gonna get a job regardless. You're gonna have a job no matter what. And even if you can't get a job, you're gonna find a way to make money because you have the skills. Knowing how to do software engineering is a skill that could unlock so much opportunities for you because you can think of any idea and turn it into existence. So I think if you're a cracked engineer, if you're a really good engineer, if you just focus on developing your skills in all aspects, no matter what, you should never worry about anything because you're always going to be good. So that's the main thing is I'm just focused on just becoming the best engineer that I could be. And I don't the macroeconomics sometimes it's going to be a headwind. It's There's going to be layoffs and you're going to be slowing down, but sometimes it's going to be a tailwind. I think AI is a big tailwind for a lot of engineers, especially the really good ones, and really propel them to making a lot of money and getting rich. You have the day off tomorrow. All right. And if I miss your question, just repeat them because the chats are going a little fast. So, hey James, I recently got diagnosed with ADHD, low attention and focus, and I've started learning and focusing on things for the first time in 28 years of my life. Yo, man, that's good for you to get diagnosed, and now that you're able to focus, I think 28, it's never too late. You're still young. I just started doing code forces at 28 as well. So let's see if I'm still able to do it. I don't think it's never too late. I already asked GPT this if it's too late for me to get in competitive programming. But even it's too late, you got to try and you got to see where you end up. I think regardless if you work at something with a lot of potential like engineering, no matter even if you fall short, you still make it a good enough way to make a good living for yourself. Barzan, what's up? Yeah, you're totally fine, man. Alpha, when did you really start actually grinding LeetCode? You think it's possible to get good at LeetCode in your late 20s or no? Or do you or did you already have good fundamentals? But yo, Alpha, but you already have a background in CS though. Cause that's the thing I think about sometimes is like I feel like sometimes when I'm working through code forces or I'm working through math, I don't have the same background as some of these competitive programmers and stuff, but I'm able to think about and reason about it based on some of my CS fundamentals and CS classes. So I'm still able to make good progress. So sometimes I wonder if somebody has no background, if they are able to reason about it the same way. So, but I can't really talk from that perspective because I have a traditional background. You got any resources for becoming a better backend dev? I'm a junior in university. Yo, when it comes to being a better backend dev, I would say work on side projects. Build a side project where you have a front end. The front end talks to the back end. Take your back end and deploy the back end. Like deploy your REST APIs. Work with different like backend technologies. Try out different databases, SQL, NoSQL. Just keep building projects and actually launching them, and you'll become a better backend engineer. And also work on, especially when you're still in school, try to work on things end to end, from front end to back end, so you get a full understanding of the scope. And then when you start working on your job, if you have to focus on back end, at least you'll know a bit about what's happening on the front end, and it will just give you a holistic perspective on how everything works. I think too many times I've worked with people who've never touched the front end and they're so scared to touch the front end. And then every time something related to the front end comes in, they don't even want to work on it or don't even want to touch it. You don't want to be in that position. If you want to be at the top level, you need to be able to work on any hard problem. Who's the guy who talks shit in your Code Forces blog? I don't know, man. I can't lie. Random haters. There's a lot of haters. Grogu, what's up, man? I joined as a fresher in Oracle. Any tips? I feel like it. I feel like it only takes. Which fan company has the most front end engineers? Is it okay to work on them? There's a lot of questions coming in. Okay, let me see. Let me just try to answer. Let me go up again. I'm learning CS from absolute scratch now that I can finally focus. I'm learning math from scratch as well. I'm learning math from scratch as well. Well, I've already did math back in high school, but I'm focusing again and I'm learning a lot of the basics again. I said thank you for inspiring me, James. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching the videos. You watching the videos gives me motivation to keep making more videos. And if there's any content you want me to cover, I got you. How would you react if you were unemployed? There are dependents upon you, and you want to do Code Forces LeetCode because of patience. One cannot get into thing indefinitely without a reward. Okay, this is a good question. Let me just like pop these up. How did I get folded by this? Yo, this is kind of a good question. This is actually a really good question. See what chat's saying. And feel free to ask questions multiple times if I can't get it. If I can't get to it. So how would you react? Let me think about this. How would you react if you are unemployed? There are dependents upon you and you want to do Code Forces, LeetCode because of patience. One cannot get into a thing indefinitely without reward. So cannot get into this is important because there's opportunity cost all the time with what you do. The fact that you decide to pursue anything means that you're leaving other things off the table. So if I decide to grind LeetCode, that's opportunity cost for me. I could have worked on projects. I could have started a startup. And I think this issue is something that I ran into a lot all the time because I would try to sometimes when you're grinding LeetCode, it feels hopeless. You know what I mean? You're working on LeetCode and there's so many other things that you could do and there's no reward in sight, especially if you can't get a job. But I think when you're first starting, honestly, I prioritized a lot of short-term wins as well. I really focused on there's there's nothing that I did. So first off, you shouldn't do things indefinitely without a reward. Everything that I did, I had a clear sight of when possibly I'll get a reward off it, and I would choose to not do things that would not give me a reward if that reward was so long from now. Like for example, when I was in school, I was thinking of being a doctor. But to make money as a doctor, I would have been like 35 before I make money as a doctor. So I decided I can't go down that path. So honestly, for me, I try to look for things that I could do in the next 6 months or a year to make more money, or that will give me a reward right away, and then try to get those down. But now that I'm more established and I have more money and I have less dependence, I could start thinking of longer term projects, and I don't really need to worry about survival no more. So I think that's kind of how you need to focus. Just think about it, even with startups, right? Startups, if startups were only working on long term, or were only working on projects that were out in the long term, they'll never survive as a company unless they raise so much money that they can pretty much do research projects for the next 2 to 3 years. A lot of them are looking for quick wins to make money, and once they make money, they use that to fund their long-term ideas. But they need to find you need to find things that make you money right now, and then you need to also invest in the long term as well. You have to treat yourself a little bit like a startup, where, I mean, if you have dependents, you need money right now. Find ways to make money right now, but find ways that you could eventually invest that money into longer term things that will make you money in the long term. Yo, Caesar, what's up? If that Did that make sense? Honestly, with everything I do, there's an automatic reward that I'm thinking. But now that I'm more stable and I have more foundation, I have more money in the bank, I can work on longer term projects. But before, I couldn't really do that at all. So I think you need to focus. So what a lot of these companies do is they find, that's why a lot of companies, they especially when they get bigger, they work with small medium sized companies, and they work with larger companies as well, because the smaller medium sized companies have lower sales cycles, so they're able to onboard a lot of them and make money in the short term. But then they're trying to land these big deals that will secure them money long term. You know what I mean? So you got to focus on making money at all levels. Bro, the Wi-Fi is not limited. You can have $1 billion and your Wi-Fi is still gonna get cut out over here. That's just how it is. How's the gains? The gains is good. I'm cutting down to 165. I'm trying to get down to like 12, 13, 14% body fat, and probably like 18% now. I recently joined as a fresher in Oracle. Any tips at the start of my career? How can I become better? So, when you first, I think what you should do when you first start your career is, if you're a junior level developer, the main thing is execution. Your job is execute on projects. There's going to be people above you who've worked there longer. They have ideas that they want to implement, and and your main job is execution. The main way you're going to get promoted from level 1 to level 2 is by execution. So you need to figure out ways that you're going to improve your execution speed. And the way that I did that when I first started was, well, obviously working really hard, but I made a list of all the technologies that we worked at my company. So AWS, Postgres, React testing library, it's React, TypeScript, Playwright, all of the technologies, and I would just read the documentation and make sure I understand all the documentation across all the technologies, and I would go one by one learning this. And I could probably bring this up. Let me bring this up. I'll show you what I was learning in 2021 on my Notion. With tech stack. Like when I was working at Nova Credit, I made so what I would do is, as I came across different technologies, I would just write down all of the technologies that we are using, and I would make sure that I understand all of the different technologies and read the documentation. So this helps a lot with execution, because if you understand all of the and this was before AI, so I think things might have changed a little bit. But for example, I would spend time just learning JavaScript. I would learn React testing library. So I would say, first off, take a look at your whole tech stack and try to figure out what are all the technologies that you work on at work. Do you know that? Right? And once you know all the technologies that you know, write down which ones you know for sure and which ones you kind of don't know, and then start trying to learn the ones that you don't know as well. This just helps you a lot with implementation. It's similar to LeetCode. You just need to know what patterns you're weak at, and focus on your weaknesses. You can't just be focusing on your strengths all day, every day. You need to spend some time working on your weaknesses. So you can see like there's a bunch of infrastructure stuff. And then I would also like look up general skills like how to use a debugger, philosophy stuff. Yeah, that's kind of how you can get ahead. Man, if you don't have interest in this stuff, trust me, sometimes it's a grind though. Honestly, some stuff I'm not interested in, but I'm interested in making money, so okay, let's get into it. Yeah, you honestly you need interest. Yo, Paul, what up, man? You kind of need interest because if you're not interested in something, you're not going to be able to solve 1700 leak code questions like alpha code. Because there's not what's not I mean, I'm not too tapped in on like the full stack. Yeah, just find what you're interested in, find out what you're good at. Honestly, oh, are you interested in like solving leak code and code forces? That's what you're more interested in, but not actually the real job. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, honestly, if I could get paid to do leak code and code forces, I'd do it all day. That's why I started this channel. This It's fun, but you don't get paid to do leak code and code forces. I mean, you'll get your really good job doing leak code and code forces. You'll get a good offer that way, but during the job, you're not really touching that stuff. But you can find things that you like. Try out all the different. Try full stack, backend, database stuff, infrastructure, AI. I don't know. You'll find something. Go for quant. Yeah, go for quant. Yo, Tens, where are you based again? Oh, Tens, you're based in UC Irvine, so I'm pretty sure you can get a job as a quant. All right. Yo, I'll answer your questions on a sec. Let me answer this guy's first. I'm nearing the end of my summer internship. I'm Australian. I'm trying to secure that return offer. Do you have any advice on what makes a good engineer stand out? Yo, I think a lot of the times a good engineer is just very proactive. Like if you're an intern, right? Be very proactive, as in look for things to do, look for problems to solve and solve them. Actually execute and solve problems. Actually execute and get things done. That's kind of that's kind of the bar, and just be a good person to work with. I think every time somebody was able to actually execute on their projects, was proactive in meetings with asking questions, was proactive in like really showing curiosity, that always set them up for a return offer. The when the junior people that I like working with are the people who really like to ask questions, because it makes me know that they're really trying to get into the weeds of things and figure things out so they could eventually be autonomous on themselves. If someone never asks questions, I doubt they'll ever be autonomous because they'll never understand things deeply, and they'll always have to rely on asking questions to get things done. And at some point, that's not gonna fly no more. So just show curiosity, ask a lot of questions, show drive by executing and being proactive, and I think that's gonna go a long way in your career. That will pretty much take you to a senior. Okay, yo, send me your resume. Send me your resume on Discord and make sure it's anonymized. So yeah. I mean, sometimes the intern comes in and the intern is so smart. He's smarter than so many of the actual engineers there. And that's also a good sign if you're really really good. But I mean, that doesn't really happen all the time. Most of the time the bar to getting a return offer is exactly just what I said. Be curious, be proactive, be motivated, be excited, act excited if you need to act it. It should take you a long way. Would you say 3 to 4 months is enough time to get another solid gig and prep? Dude, it took me more than 3 to 4 months, but I was only applying for very specific companies. So I would say it really depends on your background and how many job opportunities you're gonna get. I would say it takes at least 1 to 3 months to get prepped, especially for FANG level companies. If you're doing a cold start, I mean that means like starting from nothing essentially, or you started and you haven't done leak code in a while. It's gonna take you 1 to 3 months to get ready. But there's no exact numbers. It all really depends on how many interviews you're getting, how fast are you able to get good at leak code. I mean, yeah, I would say usually if I know I'm gonna start applying in 6 months, I usually start preparing 6 months before I start applying. Okay. Somebody's asking me. I'm not really a parent, so it's hard for me to talk on this. So I keep submitting my question early on accident. What do you recommend for interview prep for busy parents already in tech but want to shoot for something better? I would say just I feel like lead code skills is what's gonna get you a better job these days and also projects. But if you want to get a FANG job, you need to be good at lead code. And that's usually the bottleneck. I feel like working on projects is not really the bottleneck because most engineers when after you go through school and you worked a little bit, you're able to do projects because you're used to shipping code. But lead code is a whole different muscle that you don't really train after school. So I think a lot of candidates struggle with lead code after they've been out of school for a long time. So if you're a parent, I would say just do a little bit of leak code practice on the side. When the kids go to bed or something, do a little bit of leak code. I don't know, maybe teach your kids some leak code. That might like I try to do things where I can kill two birds with one stone. So if I could teach my kid, if I had a kid and I could teach him leak code or code forces, and I need to study code forces, I'm making that kid watch me do code forces. Not so I can get my code forces studying in, and he gets to learn some stuff too. Nah, teach the kid some leak code. Make sure it's anonymized. So, what's your my eventual rating on code forces? is probably, let's see if it updated. It didn't update yet. I eventually want to get to candidate grandmaster, or at least 2000 on code forces, and LeetCode. I think Guardian is fine with me. If I can get Guardian on LeetCode, which already top 2%, I think top 2% on every platform, I'm good. Man, I can't talk about that mugshot. So how does rating work? Rating works by you essentially just do these contests, and then when you do the contest, they'll pretty much grade you against everybody else. So you'll see a ranking, and based on your ranking, it'll increase or decrease your rating. Yeah, Guardian is 2K. So yeah, you just do these contests and based on your rating. It's kind of like a elo system. So they'll just build a distribution and assign you ratings. I don't really know how ratings work. Yeah, contests only happen at very specific times. So the next one is in 5 days. And then for Code Forces, you can do Code Force contests as well. So there's a lot of Code Forces contests. So I'm probably gonna do the Div 3 one next Sunday. So I'm gonna focus on Div 4 and Div 3 for now. How much time do I spend on a problem? I probably spend around 30 minutes to an hour on each problem. Okay, let's look at this person's resume. Justin, the thing is, when they drop a contest, right? The contest questions are questions that just showed up for the first time. So if you can attend them virtually, but they don't count because you might have already seen the question. Okay, let's take a look at this person's resume. So what specifically do you want me to look at? What specifically do you want me to look at in terms of your resume? Yeah, everyone's different. Everyone's different with their leak code journey. Everyone has their own starting point. All right, let's take a look at this guy's resume. So they have their education. 3.8 GPA is a very good GPA. Let me download this on the side. How long do you spend before seeing solutions? I don't know about if I spend days, but when I first started leak coding, sometimes I would spend a day. Honestly, you know yourself the best. If you think that you're so close to doing it and it's gonna waiting a day and trying again the next day is gonna help, just wait a day. I can't do too much of these resume reviews though. Only a few because I get bored very, very quick. So what do you want me to look at? Your projects? Just let me know exactly what I want to look at. I'll do a quick scan. Okay, education. Experience. You did 3 software engineering internships so far, which is good. Okay, let's look at your projects. Design. Design. A LeetCode style platform aimed to replicate real world system design reviews, taking advantage of Markdown and Excalibur. Built a high performance REST API in Go, leveraging Go routines and lightweight threads to efficiently handle submissions and AI scoring. Integrated with Super Base. Oh, I think this is really good. So you use Go to handle submissions. With Go, does it let you handle submissions for any programming language? Prompt engineered Google Gemini to evaluate and score solutions based on architecture quality and trade-off discussions. Okay, I really like this project. This is a really good project, and yeah, this is a really good project. Maybe I'll try this out. How much would you sell this for? Nice. Yo, let me take a look at the repo. This is a good project. I like this project. Now you have a really good project. Okay, that's a good project. I really like that one because you're showing front end knowledge because you built a really nice front end, so you have a really good front end. You showing back end knowledge and infrastructure knowledge because you're able to actually run the code, and then you're showing that you're leveraging AI. So I think this is a really good project because you're working on front end, you're working on back end, you're working on infrastructure, you have database using Postgres, and then you're working, and then you integrate AI into it. So I think honestly, this is one of the best side projects that I've just came across from just looking at it briefly. So Agent Cal, a multi-agent automation calendar automation server to automatically automate scheduling, event creation, availability analysis via natural language. Engineered a fully autonomous multi-agent calendar system using OpenAI Agents SDK with triage plus specialist agents, handling all calendar operations. Develop an advanced scheduling engine with neutral availability algorithm with merges free busy data. Man, you have really good projects. Like reading your resume right now, I kind of want to hire you for Castle Ridge Labs. I think when people are looking at resumes, they're looking at what can this person bring to my company that we don't have. And I think these are all things that I need at my company. What's Castle Ridge Labs pay? What's minimum wage? No, I'm kidding. These are good though. These are really good cuz these are all things that are actually useful to people. Can you build a this is so useful calendar automations and people would actually use this. I would say the main thing that you should add here is like actually get users and then and then explain that or add that here be like used by x amount of users or has x amount of users for calendar be like handled x amount of calendar events. You should start to learn to talk in terms of metrics and usages. So Poe Panda, look at this. This guy has the best resumes I've ever seen from somebody just working. An AI powered bot that automates pull request reviews, focused on code security and automated vulnerabilities. Leverage Google Gemini. So as soon as I would hire this guy at Castle Ridge Labs right away. I from just looking at their projects because this is things that they took the time out to understand. And honestly, a lot of companies they don't really have these a lot of companies, for example, would probably want a GitHub bot to automate pull requests, but they don't have time to do that. So if they can hire someone to do this, that would be amazing. So if I was looking at these projects, a big deal. This guy is gonna improve the culture, improve our company. Because if I'm hiring somebody, I want to hire somebody who's gonna come in and not just take tasks, but I want that person to improve the whole company. Everybody who comes in should make the company a little bit better than it was before. Yo, whose resume is this again? This is actually one of the best. Those are some of the best projects I've ever seen in a resume. Okay, now let's look at your experience. So, software engineering intern. So you're just how are you a vice president of engineering? Oh, are you a Waterloo student? Oh my God, this guy, it's a Waterloo student. This is why it's so cracked. You go to Waterloo? Oh, okay. I was like, if it was a Waterloo, I'd be like, oh, I thought it was a. Yeah, you should mention. So do you actually get paid for this? Yeah, you should say club president or something. VP of engineering makes you sound like you're a vice president of engineering for a company. So it doesn't really add up where you're just a software engineer and also a vice president at the same time. It's a bit confusing. And then you also say you're just a regular software engineer. So you're working an actual job. So I'm just trying to figure out here. Yeah, your work experience titles are more confusing than the average because it makes it look like, are you an intern? Are you a VP, or are you just a regular software engineer? Those are, you have roles at three different levels. One of them takes 20 years of experience, one of them has no experience, and one of them is just like you're just starting off. So it's confusing. Okay. Yeah, I would say like club or something. Cause this when if somebody says software engineer on their resume, I just think they're actually a software engineer. And most of the times if they say software engineer on their resume and they're still in school, a lot of times it's because they're taking a side job and they're actually working. If you're not getting paid, I would just put this under projects or something. Or just say that like it's for school. But right now it seems like these two are professional roles while you're in school, which is trippy. Just super confusing. So let's look at your actual bullet points. Solo led the engineering effort of a profitable poker training platform that achieved $20,000 in ARR and 100 plus users within 3 weeks of launch. So what does this do? Train people up on poker? I'm trying to get good at poker. Yeah, what's the poker? I know Alphas wants to know because he used to do poker. Yo, Farzan, look at this guy's projects. They're actually crazy. Farzan, what were your projects again to for you to land like those sick roles that you were able to get in? Did you do a lot of projects or not really? So shipped a React Native Expo app with crash-free sessions and sub-second UI interactions. Optimized build OTA release pipeline to cut iteration time by 40%. Designed and developed a scalable backend on Supabase Fastify using Postgres row-level security and JWT auth. Shipped CI/CD railway pipelines for zero time downtime releases to servers to serve 80 plus. So this bullet points is a mouthful. Could probably break it up into two. The first two were good. This one's okay. Integrated OpenAI streaming API and optimized prompt transport, cutting end-to-end response latency from 6% to 2%. How did you optimize the prompt transport if you're just using the OpenAI streaming API? Can you answer that in the chat real quick? That's something they would ask you in the interview probably. Implemented deep linking and analytics systems using Apps Flyer and PostHog, enabling precise user attribution, engagement tracking to help improve retention, automated the ingestion of 300 plus poker charts via custom Python scraping. I think Your bullet points are decent. I would give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Promoted from software engineer after leading major internal projects and demonstrating exceptional initiative. Directed engineering operations for 100 plus active members, hosting 10 plus events and workshops per semester. Created an interactive onboarding system, reducing first PR to 1 day. Okay. Led the development of full stack application with React and efficient backend routing and data storage with Express. Yeah, I think your projects are really good. You just kind of need to work on your actual work experience a bit. You could probably find ways to just improve the bullet points. I think the bullet points, I would give the bullet points like a 6 out of 10 for experience. But the projects, honestly, some of the best projects I've ever seen from somebody who's a student. And overall, your resume is nicely structured. So I'll give the resume overall like 8 out of 10. All right. If you're gonna send me your resume, just send it inside the Discord. Join the Discord and send me your resumes there. Anonymize it. All right. What other questions do people have? Yeah, yeah. I'm working at a company. Do people think I don't work? Yeah, I had the performance review, so no, I work at Meta. How did the prefer we did the performance reviews probably like a week ago, so I'm just nah, I don't care. I'm not really hiding it, but I don't want to talk about actually what we're up to because at the end of the day it's a public company, but it's almost like sometimes you can't talk about certain stuff because I don't know if that's considered insider trading or not. Yo, James, what's your plan long term? You ever want to go into startups? Yeah, I want to get into startups for sure. I want to I don't know if I'm gonna be cut out for working at big tech companies all my life. I'm definitely gonna get back into startups, but I don't want to just work on somebody's startup. I want to work on my own startup and hire the people I want to work with. Make the decisions that I want to do. How's John Peralta CFA doing? Man, John Peralta CFA is doing real good. Raccoon, what up? Get some ideas, bro. I got a lot. I got some things cooking. I got some things cooking. Alpha, you think you're good for working at big tech forever? Yeah, honestly, working at big tech is a really good life. I could probably work at big tech for forever as well because you just get paid really good, and if you get paid really good, and if you're a really good engineer, it's a money glitch too because you'll just have a job always. You'll make a ton of money. People will come to you for stuff, but I don't know. I work all the time. Is I have so much ideas that I want to work on, but then I just have to work on whatever they're telling me to work on at work. And although it's fun, like it sounds fun to me just working, not even having a job and still being able to survive. At the end of the day, it's not about. I think what you just need to get is Castle Ridge Labs hiring. Yeah, we can find some things for you to do. I'll have to talk to my business partner. Business partner. Bobo, what's up, man? Good morning from India. What time is it for you? Yo, Bobo, I'm trying to grow my India following. Have any advice? I already have 50% of my followers from India, but I wanna capitalize on that even more. I feel like people from India are the people who like to do competitive programming. So I want to tap into that market even more. You're 50% India as well? Yo, tens, we'll come up with something like little side projects, and then we'll highlight you. I'll let you know. I'll let you know if we can come up with some ideas. Cause at the end of the day, the thing is, the reason, yo, what's up? The thing is, I can't make money off Castle Ridge Labs is because I'm on a visa. So Castle Ridge Lab is purely for non-for-profit building things for the community. So if you want to come work at Castle Ridge Labs and work on stuff for free, but I'll help you distribute those projects. Obviously, I'll stamp it with Castle Ridge Labs. Then just come hit me up. If you just want to get projects and people to use it, come to me. But if you're trying to make money, just go make the project yourself. I can't really help you out because I'm not really in the business. I'm doing a lot of these things non for profit. I'm gonna drop tutorials regarding CP. I got you. I got you. All right. If I go to India, where should I go? Should I do live interviews in India? Should I go to Bangalore and do mock interviews in person? Yeah, I'll spin up Castle Ridge Labs as a real non for profit. Maybe I'll spin up as a Castle Ridge Labs as a real non for profit like AI lab type thing where we just work on some projects and make research papers on it or something, and then I'll distribute the things we learned over. But it'll be strictly non for profit. Don't expect to make money on it. But maybe we can do like some non for profit stuff. Yo, man. I don't know what's up with those open AI guys, but I feel like when you start, if your company starts making billions of dollars, anybody will start thinking about how to get the money off that. I'm pretty sure they didn't think it would get to that point all of a sudden, but like it's definitely super messed up, dude. Definitely super messed up. That's why I don't even want to work at OpenAI. I wouldn't want to work for them. I'd rather work for somebody who just straight up says I want to make money, not try to like dance around the idea of making money and try to make money on the side. That's way too fake for me. Go make money, bro. Yeah, what do y'all think about OpenAI ads? Kind of weird, huh? Do you leak code while getting a fade at the barber? Yeah, I might actually leak code to I might actually leak code at the barber. I was thinking of that idea. So I have a green screen now. So maybe they'll just fade me up while getting a leak code while doing a fade would actually be hilarious. I think that video will pop off. Can you jump to AI engineer if you don't have a job right now? It really depends on your background. What's your background? Bro, I'm gonna do a leak code question at the club. That might be the next goal. Honestly, I just make whatever random stuff comes to my head. So I just try to drop shit. Yeah, we got LeetCode. We got Farzan doing LeetCode at an NFL watch party. That was hilarious. He's like, "Yo, I can't hop on. I'm at a league. I'm at an NFL," and all of a sudden he hops on. He's like teaching me about sorted sets and binary search. Legend. No, LeetCode at my wedding. That's gonna get me a divorce ASAP. There's some things I don't cross. Know what I mean? Yo, Rambods, what's up? Long time. I had my Google interview round two for new grad, and I had two technicals. First one I got optimal with hints. Second one I got non-optimal. Okay, what were the questions? What were the questions? And where are you based? Okay, if you got hints, it's like a 50-50. I would say based on what you said, you probably have a 40% chance of actually passing. Honestly, I've never had an interview. Man, I don't know if hints are fine. I don't know if hints are fine. I've never passed the interview where I just I've never had an interview that I passed where I didn't blow the interview out of the water. No diddy. Like most of the times I if I passed the interview, I destroyed the interview. Yeah, you can't have a lean hire. You kind of have to get a solid hire or a strong hire. It's really hard to get a lean hire, especially if you're interviewing at a top tier company like Google. They have so many candidates that they'll just move on to the next. So you kind of have to strong hire or get a solid hire. But honestly, I hope your situation is different and you get the job regardless. But we'll see. Do you ever think of pivoting to quant? Yeah, I'm gonna pivot to. I want to work at quant at least one time in my life. But I'm just trying to get good at code forces. So maybe I'm gonna learn C++. But if I work at quant, I'm gonna try to get into one of those big quant firms as well. I can't. I don't want a tier B quant firm. I kind of want a tier A, and I just want to see what it is. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'll pull some strings. I know. I know. I actually know quite a few people who work at quant now, so I gotta disprove all the once you're in your 30s, yo. Alpha gives me motivation as well. Honestly, you could be whatever age and still get it done. You can get it done when you're in your 40s, when in your 50s. You shouldn't be like honestly if you think 30 is old, that's so messed up because 20s is such a short period in your life. So people think that people try to they'll be in like their early 20s and they just think that's the only time they're young. Being from 18 to 24 or 25 cuz people think you're old after like 26 or 27, right? So you're only legal at 21 and then you're old after 27 apparently. So you only have 6 years to be young in the industry. That doesn't really make sense to me, man. I feel like probably I would say between your 20. That's what people. I feel like yeah, like that's how people act. Like sometimes people they're like, oh, you're 28, you're old. I'm like, bruh. Are you a CS graduate? Yeah, I graduated from CS. I'm a CS graduate. I graduated from the University of Calgary. But honestly, my my advice to people who are younger would probably just be, if you're young, you should just know that you're not going to be young soon. It catches up to you quick. You're 21, then all of a sudden you're 25. So you gotta lever it. You can't just rely on the fact that you're young, and you can't make being young your identity. A lot of people make being young their identity, and when they get older, they have a crisis. You shouldn't your identity shouldn't be linked to your age. Your identity should just be your identity. You know what I mean, some people really cling to the fact that they're young, and then all of a sudden they're old, and what do they do? Or some people cling to the fact that they're old, and then, I mean, no one really clings to the fact that they're old, but like, I feel like a lot of people cling to the fact that they're young way too much. But who cares about your age? What are your hobbies? What are you good at? What do you do? How are you as a person? And then when as you're older, that's all gonna stay the same. Yo, what's up, Invo? What's up? On coping? Oh man, honestly, Paul, I'm not coping because even when I was young, when I came to the NSF when I was 22 from Canada. I knew right away that I don't want to just rely on the fact that I'm young or just keep talking about how young I am, because people all the time, even at my current role, I'm pretty much the youngest on my team. But I don't want that to be my identity. I want my identity to be other than my age, because at some age you're going to get old. So why would you just cling on to that all your life? Do you think it's hard to find US jobs if studying in Canada as a new grad? It's harder, obviously. There's more there's more that you have to do to get the job, because obviously it's easier for them to just hire someone from the US. But if you're a really good candidate, like I said before, if you're cracked, you're gonna get a job regardless. You don't have to worry about anything. That's why just get cracked. Should we try getcracked.io? Let's just get cracked. Yeah, that's pause. That's actually pause. Honestly, where I'm from, like my group of friends, get cracked means means another thing, man. Than getting good. That's why I barely say it. Yeah, it's actually pause. It's actually pause. All right, first, okay, let's do a live react to get cracked. First off, get cracked. That's pause. That's pause. Yo, chat. What does getting cracked mean to y'all in your friend group? What does getting cracked mean? If you're a nerd, if you're in comp sci, get cracked means something else than if you're not really in comp sci. Yeah, exactly. What does it mean to get cracked? No, getting people have been. What it? I wonder how coin such a dumb phrase. Yeah. If I say get cracked to anybody outside of CS, they're gonna say pause. If I ever said I got cracked, they're gonna tell me pause. That's the first thing. So that's my main thing that I'm thinking about when I log on to this website. But honestly, I really like the name getcracked.io. From a software engineer, I know what it means, and it's not sus. Exactly. Imagine, yo, I'm just getting cracked. What does that sound like? Come on now. So from people from India saying it means that they're taking drugs. Getting cracked means taking drugs. Okay. I guess because you're not with the slang really, you're more just thinking of it literally. So getting cracked means taking crack. That makes sense as well. So we had there's three different ways you can interpret get cracked. I think definitely don't change the name. The name is great. Get cracked is a great name. I wouldn't change it. But different people interpret different ways. If I'm a CS student, I understand what it means. If I'm just a regular person, sounds a little sus. If I'm from India or from a different country, it sounds like I'm taking drugs. But first, when you log in, it tells you it's bringing you through steps. I think it's a beautiful website. Who here has tried Get Cracked? I might even just pay just because I want to support. I actually like this guy's content. He does LeetCode, so let's try to learn Python. Yo, me and CJ are gonna do a IRL stream. That's what we're gonna do. Which areas of programming are you most interested in? Language knowledge, design patterns, operating systems, networks, computer architecture, concurrency data. Oh, I like this. I kind of want to know more about networking, computer architecture, and operating systems. Some of these I already learned at work, but I want to focus more on these. And I'm probably say I don't really work with this, so I'm a beginner. I really like the first steps of this website. It's pretty good so far. What's your goals? Dude, my goals is kind of competitive. Oh, I don't know if I want to get into competitive or do this for competitive program, but I honestly really like the UI right now. This UI getcracked.io, it's made by Coding Jesus. It's probably better interface so far than neatcode.io, and also better interface than um Hello Interview. Hello Interview is a little slow and looks super boomer, honestly. But this looks a lot more sleek and Gen Z. Yeah, but the thing is, Hello Interview is the most legit website and people that I've ever ran into. But this is so clean. So I'm gonna focus on career advancement and just learning and education. Where did you hear about us? Coding Jesus and word of mouth. Actually, probably word of mouth from people coming on my streams and telling me about Coding Jesus, and then I looked at Coding Jesus and saw what's up. But so I say I heard about it through Coding Jesus. Bro, I don't want to do this. I don't want to add my socials. What? It literally said free, and then it went into. It literally said I can try for free, and then it went into this. What? I thought that I was about to check it out. Okay, I'll get the trial. Obviously, I'm not that cheap of a person. If somebody builds a great product, I'm gonna support that product. I'll pay for that product even if it costs me money. So I'll probably pay for a month here. So Coding Jesus says he makes $60,000 a month off this, and I believe that. So I'm about to make him $60,000 and 60,020 dollars this month. Okay, what's everyone saying? Am I gonna roast get cracked? I'm not I don't know if I'm not gonna just roast it if it sucks. I mean if it's good. I'm gonna give my honest feedback. Right? Like I'm not the type to rage bait. I'm not the type to rage bait. Bro, I don't know, man. That's not really me. I'll give credit to where it's due. So let's just all review it together. We have a bunch of people on the stream. Let's take a look at Get Cracked. Y'all say what you think about it. So I just signed up. It says practice thousands of problems and hundreds of interview questions. Pause. Sharpen your coding skills. Learn with curated playlists. Yo, the thing about Coding Jesus is probably 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ago, this guy was making banger after banger on super useful content. What book should you read to break into quant? Breaking down different books. This guy knows what he's talking about. He's not just a random person. He's been making content for 5 years, and a lot of the content is good. Master behavioral interviews. Okay. Track your progress. Track your progress. Visit your account page to view your stats, leaderboard ranking, and recently finished questions. Monitor your progress. Okay. Kind of like a LeetCode type thing. Community access. Annual members join our exclusive community. Okay. Test your knowledge with quizzes. Help us grow and get paid. Contribute questions. Affiliate program. So we have a free trial. Who here has tried Get Cracked? You'll still get rate limited. Okay. Let's just try these quizzes. Junior quantitative developer quiz. Questions. Why is it all limited though? Oh, okay. It's all C++ specific. I kind of like this though, where there's user generated content and you can add it in there, but it's hard to figure out what are good questions. So there's questions, there's problems. What's the difference between questions and problems? What is this? What? Are you already getting rate limited? Account. So is this account the same thing as this? Okay. That's very weird. I've never seen that in a lot of applications where there's something you can click in the main view and then it's also persisted in the navigation. Usually the navigation is independent of what's here and it's not duplicated. So that's pretty interesting that there's duplicated links between the nav bar. Am I right or what? What do y'all think? Okay, let's see what the videos are. Okay, then it links to his YouTube videos. Upgrade to unlock. Oh, honestly, I can't get anywhere without getting hit with a paywall. I don't know about this site, man. I don't know about this site. I don't know. Typically with design, you wouldn't have an element in here the same as the nav bar. Like, why would I go down here to click go to account when account is up here? It's persisted. Yeah, like the black images or it's the images are very minimalist and I can't really tell what's in there. So what's the difference in questions and problems? Browse and unlock hundreds of curated interview questions from top companies. Sharpen your coding skills with challenges. So this one maybe has an editor and this one is just straight up questions. Let's ask Python questions. Okay, it's like a little quiz. Observe the snippet of code below. What gets printed if we run python.m.phys? Type error if an error is raised or program fails to execute. Note that the comments delineate separate files. Okay, we're gonna run phys. It's a module. Is that what M does? Import foo. Import bar. Import foo. I mean, so there's a circular dependency here. So we import foo. Well, no, imports foo, and this imports bar. That's a circular dependency. In some programming languages, circular dependencies would error out. Some don't. So I'll say, let's just go with error. Damn, I got cooked already. I can't get a job with coding Jesus. An import happens in two phases, import and load. When a module is imported, Python first creates an empty module object and places it in sys modules direct dictionary, using the module's name as the key. Next, the module is loaded, meaning all its symbols are executed and populated into that previously empty module object. If module A imports module B and module B then tries to import module A again, Python won't re-import A since A is already present. Okay, so it doesn't fail. I think JavaScript works like that as well. It's probably depends on. So this guy got paid $2 for contributing. Interesting. I like it kind of. Little quiz. I'm not sure how useful that is, but I guess I learned something there. How would we fact check it though? How do I know that these are correct too? Dude, the navigation is just off. That's the one thing that I would definitely fix. Navigation is off. Very simple website. It's cool that he's making that much money off it though, so respect. But honestly, when if you try to compare it to like neetcode.io or Hello Interview, it seems a lot less has seems like it has a lot less functionality. I don't know. What's everyone's thoughts in the chat? But maybe these ones are better. Just selling the country. Nah, man, I can't upgrade no more. Oh, I was able to break in. Okay, so they give you a editor type. They give you an editor. Take a look. Man, it's a little bit too wordy. This is it's getting cut off at the bottom, so it's hard for me to even see. I'm seeing half the text cut off there. But it's pretty wordy. Implement a backtesting engine. Your coworker has given you your first task as a junior quantitative dev. He's provided you with a list of price data and a strategy function which returns a long hold or short indicator and an unsigned order quantity when when fed a price. Okay. He mentions that he plans to run the strategy starting from an initial cash balance of 10K, but doesn't want the strategy to result in a drawdown larger than 20% or a position larger than 200 units. So we pretty much have to implement this code. Yeah, I think this might be a good question. I've never implemented a backtest engine before. I mean, I'm down to try it, but it looks like you can run tests, you can submit. Looks I think this part's kind of cool. I like the testing. There's an explanation. The UI is a bit hard to read, and the CSS could be a little bit better because there's some things that cut off. But I think this one is probably the most helpful that I've seen so far. I'm not really in this space, so it's hard for me to judge. But honestly, it seems like a solid question. When I read it, it seems like something that somebody working in quant would actually have to do. Obviously, he's worked in quant, so he knows what's up, and he's probably putting questions that he's had to ask in interviews. So I think this part is solid. This part is very solid, like actually just implementing this, and he has a way to run it. Maybe I'll try it out. And I think it's sick because it's a different niche than Hello Interview or LeetCode.io that mostly focuses on FANG style interviews. It's hard to find good questions related to quant. So this looks good. This part looks good. That part looks good, I can't lie. And I don't know. That's pretty much all that's there. So there's questions. I looked at that. It's like pop trivia like he asked in his interviews. There's problems, which is sort of like LeetCode, but more specific to quant. And I found those interesting. There is some playlist, and I think the playlist is just maybe showing his. Oh, it's kind of grouping some stuff in. Honestly, his onboarding was really good, but once you onboarded, the navigation is a bit weird. So maybe the navigation could be improved. The videos kind of just show his YouTube videos uploaded online. Well, I guess he uploaded on Vimeo. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. That's cool how he's making 60 grand a month on this. Quizzes, what's quizzes? Yeah, you can just straight up take a quiz. Honestly, I think there's value here. There's value here if you were able to do it. But there's a leaderboard. Damn, this guy solved a lot of questions. Honestly, what else? I think this site is a little bit has a lot less functionality than something like LeetCode.io or Hello Interview. And if you're trying to get a job at at FANG or just general software engineering, probably less useful. But if you're trying to get a job at quant, it's probably more useful than some of these other ones because of those quant specific questions. But overall, I don't know if I'll spend too much time working on it, working on this site. That's kind of my analysis on getcracked.io. Maybe I'll try looking through LeetCode at some point. I've never actually downloaded or went through that site. But yeah, Hello Interview is a solid site. I actually use Hello Interview to apply or like build my skills. Made by two staff meta and dev, so yeah, obviously they're cracked. Yeah, if you want to learn Hello Interview, or if you want to learn Fang style interviews, system design specific, or if you want to learn system design, go on Hello Interview. I don't use Hello Interview for anything related to coding though. I use for coding, I just use just the LeetCode platform and editorials, code forces, and grokking the coding interview and a bunch of the coding interview books. I don't use Hello Interview for coding, although they do have coding there. But yeah, damn, I never tried Get Cracked before, but that's an interesting site. That's cool how he's making 60 grand a month on that. Shout out, Coding Jesus. Damn, it's already midnight. See if the contest rating dropped. Oh, contest. All right, what's everyone up to for the rest of the day? I can do a LeetCode review at some other time, but I might just call it. It was like a quick 2 hour stream. Y'all doing some LeetCode tonight? Are you preparing for jobs? You're on Central Time, so what is that? Like 1, 2 hours ahead? You did Code Force competitions. How did you perform? Yo, Alpha, yeah. When is it? Is the guy cool with it? If he's good, I'll just join in. Just I'll be streaming. I'll be doing questions, and then once you send me the link, yeah. He said he's fine. Okay. Yo, Alpha, you should just. I'm gonna send you my number. You should just text me because sometimes I don't look on Discord. So text me. I'll send you my number on Discord and just let me know when it's going on, and then send me the Discord link and I'll hop on. Yeah, because I feel like it's easier to collab and talk about ideas over text. Yeah, I got way too like yeah, I'm mixing it up. All right, yo, thanks for tuning in, everyone. I hope I answered a lot of questions. Okay, wait. Someone's asking. Wait, do you know when you're free to talk about job prospect questions? Probably tomorrow. So grinding lead code. Anybody has like last minute questions before I call it end the stream? Yo, Alpha, you think I'm gonna give you my real number? No, I was kidding. I'll leak yours right. If I get mine leak, I'm leaking yours back. New to dev field is LeetCode. Please look at my resume. I got a good job. Yeah, man. You nuke me, I'm gonna nuke you back. Okay, I got a good job, but no GF to spend money. How to get a GF? How to get a good GF? Man, go watch Roy's video on looks maxing. That's how you're gonna get a good GF. Yo, Alpha, new drop by Alpha. New drop by Alpha.
Okay, so if you can give like a 1 minute intro about yourself, and then we can get.
Alpha, new drop. Yo, Alpha, your subs are going up. Lee, no higher. What? Why do you go at midnight? Is it better for you? Yeah, that makes sense. So man's asking how to get a girlfriend. How to get a girlfriend? Put yourself out there. Go meet some people. Learn how to talk to girls. Learn how to talk to people. You should be good. Now that you have money, it makes it easier. When you have money, it opens a lot of doors for you. I can check that site tomorrow. I'm pretty sure the easiest way to get a GF or get women is get money. Yo, Alpha's trolling. When you have money, you can get a nose job. Finally opens the door. Uh, no comment. No comment. You're gonna get you're gonna get a certain fan base to attack me, and I'm scared of those guys. But yeah, you'll look at any celebrity when they started making money, how their face changed. Look at somebody like Dua Lipa. Even look at like Bad Bunny for example. A bunch of these celebrities, they look at Elon. Yeah, Elon got like a hair transplant and stuff. I don't know why he doesn't just tell you take Ozempic or something though. Dude, yeah, just look at any celebrity and see how their face transforms. Everybody has done some cosmetic surgeries when they're famous. Go to Miami and left and right, you'll just see BBLs. Honestly, I'm not really against cosmetic surgeries though. If you want to look good, you want to get a BBL, get it. As long as you don't die and as long as it still looks nice, because sometimes it looks botched. Yeah, it's just science. You want to, if look, like if your nose is bothering you, go fix your nose, bro. If your teeth are crooked and it's bothering you, go get it fixed. If you have the money, go get it fixed. No one's judging you. If your cheekbones aren't sticking out, just grab like a big ass metal stick and just smash your bone. Bone smashing, right? I actually have nose issues. Gotta get it fixed for breathing, but it's scary. Yeah, I'm scared to get surgeries, actual surgeries. But little things like I got like Invisalign to line up my teeth a bit. I got like LASIK because my eyes were bad. Little things like that. Little cosmetic. Those are the reason I got Invisalign though was because I was grinding my teeth out, so they had to straighten it so they are aligned better. And I just wanted LASIK because I didn't like wearing glasses. So if you have any advice on some surgery to get, just let me know. As long as you have a good doctor, I'll take a look. Not tall enough, getting limb surgery. Yeah, maybe you can get like the height surgery, get to like 6'3" and you're good. Bro, the thing with Invisalign is it's so easy to do and the tech companies pay for it, so why not? Like use your benefits to your advantage. Yeah, once you hit 6 foot, you're good. Once you hit 6 foot, you're good. Now that I'm now that I'm paralyzed from waist below. LeetCode will get the girls. Does LeetCode actually help you get girls, chat? What do you think? No, that's Alpha. Say swear. You're rounding up. I mean, that's honestly at 5 foot 11 and a half. You gotta round it up. But yo, let's be real. Girls can't really tell the difference with height sometimes. Sometimes you're 24 and 6'5". Yeah, most people are 5'9", say 6 foot. Yeah, I see a lot of people who are exactly my height and claim 6 foot. Not gonna lie. But what I noticed is that's actually a very US thing where people would round up their height. In Canada, everyone would just straight up say their height, whatever their height is. When I came to US, everyone was saying they're over 6 foot. I was like, bro, this is crazy. This is crazy now. Like, let's be real now. Fix the posture. What's wrong with your posture, Paul? Are you like slumped? If you're like slumped, you can like put on some stuff so it just keeps your body up. I might eat some dinner real quick on stream. You got the gamer neck? Let me set on my food. All right, I'll take more questions. Let's get more questions in the chat. Do you think it's still worth to practice LeetCode or do a bit more hybrid, deeper topics? I would say focus on LeetCode. I would say balance both. Work on LeetCode, but also work on projects. Also work on practical stuff. But LeetCode is still important, and I still do a lot of LeetCode because it helps me do this challenging. I feel like it challenges me in different ways that side projects could never. So when you go to the gym, are you just gonna work on chest and legs all day? No, you want to work on chest. You want to work on legs. You want to work on arms. You want to work on everything. So when I'm working on side projects, I'm working on side projects. I'm doing lead code. I'm doing code forces. I'm trying to train all my muscles. Obviously, some I'll focus more on others, but you need to be pretty well rounded, especially in this day of AI. Okay, let me grab my chicken. I got a chicken thigh for dinner. Yo, maybe what I'll start doing is like playing some game like 2K or something and doing like a Ask Me Anything. That'd be kind of chill. What do y'all think? Because right now I'm answering these questions and just staring blankly into the screen. No one asks you how many crunches you do. They ask you how much you bench. Just saying. Yeah, but then they'll look at you and your disproportion. You know what I mean? Or you have no abdominal strength when you're trying to do like some other stuff. So It's important to be well-rounded. It shows up in different aspects. Like if you know front end, you know back end, you know infrastructure, you know all these different things. My chicken's popping off in the back. Like maybe they might only look at your like one aspect of you, but it shows up in different ways. Yeah, I do development too. What do people mean by development? Because a lot of people in India always say that. It's like, oh, I do you do development? But this is how you get a six pack. You just eat straight chicken for dinner. Straight chicken, no carbs. Make projects. Yeah, I make projects. I have a few. No sauce, no nut. I mean, sometimes I put hot sauce in it. Like what? For fun, I work on jamesperalta.com. I also built this UFC Chrome extension. So this UFC Chrome extension has like, it used to have over 2K users. Now it just dipped under 2,000, but it has 24 ratings. So this is made by you can see it's made by Castle Ridge Labs. So me and my friend built this. So it's a Chrome extension. It has a bunch of users. I can show you what it looks like. This is so I worked on this. We just like rebuilt the UI, but you can like vote on who you want to win and stuff. What's your VS Code extension do? And it like scrapes all the fights pretty far out, honestly. Oh, we gotta fix. We just pushed some stuff, so we gotta fix the. Looks a little bit weird. But yo, you can load up fights for like really far back, and we're gonna expose it. We're gonna expose it via API soon. So, yeah, I work on little side projects on the side. Holy crap, 40K installs, crazy. I'll try it out. I'll actually try this out. Alpha, give us a TLDR on it. I mean, my chicken. Yo, what games do y'all play? I'm not really into. I don't use VS Code anymore. I just straight use Cursor. Alpha, I'll try it out. Does it work in Cursor too, or just VS Code? Yo, blood, long time, man. What do you have for dinner? How are you raging on Clash Royale? Royale. Is it that serious? I actually have a video on if you're allowed to use AI in Code Forces dropping very soon. But the short answer is you're actually allowed to use AI to some extent on Code Forces. Butter chicken, baby. It's Sunday. Bro, I'm just eating straight up dry chicken. But I'm on a cut, that's why. So TLDR is where you're allowed to use AI. Yeah, exactly. Like I have a video I'm dropping where I read into these in depth. But I actually wonder, is there a I'm 28. Is there a LeetCode version of is there a LeetCode version of like AI on LeetCode contest? Yo, am I unk? Damn. Blood, say less. Yo, chat, how old do you think I am? How old did you think I am before I just said it? I should have told you to guess. 35, 24, 17. Stop the cap. 45, stop the cap. Y'all rage baiting right now. I look like I have a son or two. Man, stop the rage bait right now. If I had a son or two, it's not because I'm a father, it's because I just don't know about where they're at. LeetCode contest, AI guidelines. I wonder how much people are how many people are like cheating using AI and LeetCode. In recent times, the use of AI by cheaters in LeetCode contests have been on the rise due to the lack of protective measures in contest interface. It's become evident that more than 75% of users are resorting to AI tools to gain unfair advantage. 75? I don't know about that, bro. To ensure the integrity of these contests, LeetCode should take stronger action, such as restricting the ability to copy and paste, similar to security measures implemented by other platforms like GFG and yo, what other coding platforms even is this? How'd you get flagged? How'd you get flagged doing questions? I've never been flagged in my life doing a question. I urge the LeetCode team to seriously consider these steps and make necessary updates on to the contest environment. Relying solely on current reporting system is clearly insufficient, as 90% of cheaters are still able to bypass detection. For the sake of fair play and to protect the genuine effort of honest participants, it's time for LeetCode to implement more robust anti-cheating software. I don't know. Do people really cheat on LeetCode contests? Bro, I don't see the point in cheating on LeetCode contests. Yeah, that's like playing chess.com and using an AI to play the chess game for you. What do you get out of that? That's kind of boring. I've cheated in games before, but I cheated in games like RuneScape. In RuneScape, I used to just run bots. I would get bots to cut me wood, and then I just drop all the wood and sell it at the Grand Exchange. Did that before. I don't know if anyone here played RuneScape. Yo, but they can catch you so easily cheating if you on chess.com. I feel like if you're if chess.com could catch people cheating, LeetCode could probably have an easier time doing that. The funny thing about LeetCode is that they don't even have a guideline the same way that Code Forces does. So essentially, it doesn't even say anything. You could just do what you want, I guess. Where's the rules to the contest? Bro, that's why honestly I don't really care about like my like eventual rating. I just want to get to the point where I can solve all four questions every single contest. And if I could solve all four questions every contest, I'm pretty sure that's already should be a good rating. So if my rating's still trash after that, then I don't give a crap. Yeah, if you can solve all questions on the contest, you're good. But that's crazy how there's no rules. Oh, oh, there's rules right here. Wow, they have a lot of rules. They have a lot of rules. Is there anything about AI? Nothing about AI? Yeah, if you can solve all questions, you're probably well, if you can solve all questions, right? You can see that for these contests, AK means all killed. So only 596 people were able to solve all the questions. So I'm pretty sure that's higher than. So honestly, I'm just trying to. I don't know if I'll be able to solve all four questions this year, but maybe like three. Yeah, you already like. If you can all kill, that's already top one per. That's already top 1.5%. You should be good. Yo, these guys are honestly tweaking out. Damn, guy used to use the heap. Oh, why didn't I use a heap? Oh my god, no way. Look, this guy's the Guardian. He only attended 7 contests and his rating's already 2,700. That's kind of sketch. Unless he's already did like code forces or something. Bro, in 7 contests, he's already ranked 489 out of that many people. He's in the top 0.06%. How do you just do contests and just be that cracked right away? Yeah, you might be smurfing. In code forces, there's even rules against smurfing. You can't actually be smurfing. So I think code forces, they try to keep the integrity of the contest a lot more. Yeah, like how do you only do that many questions and be that good? Because LeetCode questions are very specific. Unless he's really that good. Damn, he's ranked third, one. Oh, he won the last couple competitions. Is crazy. Who's ranked one? Neil? Neil or something? Who, this guy? So this is the best code. This is the best LeetCode user. And he's a legendary grandmaster. Dude, what a legend, man. What a straight up legend. He's like he's not even just in red, he's like in dark red. And he's been doing code courses for a decade. This guy's a legend. Yo, Alpha, so when are you going? When do you have the coding interview? I'll probably sleep soon so I can wake up for that. Yeah, I'll be there. All right, chat. Thanks for tuning in and asking me a bunch of questions. We'll try to do this more often as well, or at least like once a month, every couple weeks, so we can just get all the questions out the way. And then when I'm studying, I'm just straight heads down solving algos. But thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next stream. Have a good night, everybody.
This is not my main thing, really I'm a coder. Coffee stains and name chains, I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over. LeetCode, beast mode, 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 LeetCode, beast mode. This is not my main thing, really I'm a coder. Coffee stains and name chains, I am such a loner. San Francisco bases got me slowly taking over. I can't wait to show you that I'm gonna take it over.